Oh, hello. Did you just hear that message? Or was that just me? Your meeting is being recorded. And so it is. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Today we are going to, hang on, let me just put speaker view so you can just see me, or in the recording rather. We're going to today use, if you have them available, let me just, your stretchy band and your ball. But as ever, if you don't have them or would prefer not to use them, you are more than welcome to do all of the exercises without. So I hope you're feeling very well. We're going to start standing. Of course, if you do just want to take a few moments to lie on the floor and breathe, you're more than welcome to do that, and you can join us in standing whenever you feel ready. Any aches or pains, anything anyone needs to flag? Wave if so. Now, as I said, my shoulder, so I'm just really paranoid about my shoulder because I don't know if any of you remember, if you were in my class, I know Julia definitely was. This shoulder took so long to rehabilitate last time that I'm just probably a little bit paranoid. So we will be doing some shoulder work and some opening of the stuff, but I may well not demonstrate it all, so just sort of tell you about it. If I feel any twinges, I'm not going to push through them. That's the danger that I always feel I do when I'm teaching. So standing with your feet directly underneath your hips. And taking a moment to simply settle into your body and find a lovely resting, calm space, particularly if this is the first time today you've inhabited your body fully. So mindfully placing the feet directly on the floor, lifting all 10 toes and placing them down, feathering them down as if you're playing a piano. And do that a couple of times. Lift up all the toes and just piece them down one by one. And then lift. So really connecting, even if you've got your socks on. It's obviously a little bit more kind of conscious connection if you can see them moving. And then release them evenly down. And then I want you to close your eyes unless that makes you feel unbalanced. And just visualize in your mind's eye the connection of the pad of the big toe joint and the little toe joint, and then the heel. And think about those 3 points on the foot on either side. And just try and imagine them releasing down and nice and heavy through those 3 points in the ground. And imagine how then that affects the center of your foot, the arch of your foot. See if you can imagine and visualize the sense of lifting, soft lift through the arch of your foot. Maybe even consciously draw those 3 points together to activate the arch of your foot and then release them down. And then again, a couple of times, just drawing, so almost like you're clawing the feet like a little budgie sitting on a perch. Imagine you're perching on the floor and then you're softening and lengthening. And again, lift and release. So there might not be that much movement, if any, to see, but I want you to really have a sense of activating the arches of your foot. And then release down. And then let's rise up onto the toes, lifting them up. Notice what happens to the foot. Does your big toe joint ping up? Do your heels ping away? Or can you feel quite grounded through the toes and connected in parallel through the heels? Let's lift up and release down. 2 more. Lifting up, rising directly up to the sky rather than forward. Imagine you're just lifting up, a little pedal under your heels and then pressing it down. Last one. And release. And then I want you to pedal individually, so picking your right heel up and then your left. So just gently walking and notice what's happening with the knees. Can you feel that they're tracking in line with the foot, or do you feel like maybe they're going out to the side? See if you can imagine them tracking. So there's a little line from the toes to the ankle joints to the knees to the hip. One straight line on either side. And then release the heels down. And just, if your eyes open through that, that's totally fine if you might need it for balance. If not, if they did open, close them again. And just see how the ankles and the feet are feeling. Breathe. And this time, let's turn our attention to that breath around this space. So we've been thinking about where you connect to the ground. Now I want you to see where your breath connects within your body. So take a lovely deep full breath. See if you can breathe all the way down to your pubic bone, all the way down to your pelvis. Maybe take your hands onto your belly. See if you can inflate all the way down to that space. And then blow the air out. So let's do a few, as if you're blowing a candle, very long, really trying to blow that birthday candle out. Breathe in through the nose. And then, and again, breathe in. And one more like this, breathing in. And breathe out. Good, then release the arms down. We're going to just come into a natural rhythm of your breath and add in the arms. So breathing in as you float the arms up towards the ceiling. And then simply breathing out to release them down. And then breathe in, float them up. Check in with the shoulders, make sure they're not lifting towards the ears. See if you can keep the shoulders down as the arms float down, breathing out, pressing the air. Maybe even come into that ever so slight extension of the shoulder joint at the back, pressing all the way back, and then lift up, in breath. And breathing out, last one after this. In to lift. And out. To press. Now we're going to do alternate the heel and the arm. So lift up your left heel, right arm, and then change. So little marches of your little sort of toy soldier marching. You can have your palms facing in, or you can have them facing back and up. So whichever feels kind of right for your shoulder joint, right for the walking movement, whichever you're doing, see where your arm is tracking. Notice if it's coming over the head. See if you can see if the whole of your joint, all of your joints from the shoulders to the ankles are lined up in line with each other. So we're not kind of coming off center, going out to the side. We want to keep ourselves really nice and consciously in line. Last one either side. And then release all the way down. Let's take the heels together into your Pilates stance. Maybe fan the toes, release them down again. Really find that big toe, little toe heel connection. But this time we've also got the little magnet connection from the heel, and then drawing that sense of connect magnet all the way up into your center. So see if you can wrap the inner thighs together, draw the pelvic floor up and in. Find that lower belly, soft engagement here. So we're really kind of drawing almost like a zip from the pubic bone to the navel, gently lifting up and in. And I want you to switch on your buttocks as well. So find that sense of energy all the way around the lower part of your hips and bum. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, let's just rise up onto the toes. So keeping those heels glued together, squeezing the inner thighs, and then slowly lower down. Let's add a little plie at the bottom. So finding the ankle joint stretching, maybe a little calf stretch here, depending how tight you're feeling, and then lift up. And slowly lower and bend. Let's do 2 more of these, rising up. I realise I didn't tell you to open your eyes, but now open your eyes if you haven't already. And lift. And lower bend. Let's stay with that bend. Now, if this does feel troubling for anyone's knees, to either take it slightly wider or back into parallel. So you can do the same in parallel, but if it feels troubling for knee joints, do listen to that rather than to me. So from this bend, I want you to draw the heels up in towards your bum, and then press up towards the ceiling, and then slowly lower back down. And again, so bending. Notice if your spine is tipping forward here. See if you can keep the back of the head, shoulder blades, pelvis all in one line as you're coming up, pressing up, release it down, bend, last one, picking the heels up towards your center, and then pressing the crown of the head, lift and lower it down. Good. And now from here, take the legs into parallel. Relax the shoulders. Let's breathe in to float the arms up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders, so soft, open arms, they don't have to be rigid. And then as you breathe out, nod the chin to the chest. Let's just allow the arms to float with the rib cage as you roll yourself, and then let the arms go as soon as you've released the forehead towards the, or the crown of the head towards the ground. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out, rolling up. Relax the shoulders, breathe in as you get to the top, floating the arms, and then breathing out, moving the arms with the rib cage as you roll all the way forward and down. Breathing in at the head, shoulders, neck relax. And as you breathe out, rolling up. Breathe in, the arms come up. Breathing out, they come down with the body. Breathing in at the bottom. Breathing out, rolling up. You've got one more after this. Really feel every bone in your spine moving individually. Float the arms up with the in-breath. And then breathing out, eyes down, chin down, arms roll with the ribs as they roll forward. All the way down. Nod the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Maybe stay here for a couple more breaths. Just to really allow the shoulders and neck a little bit of softness. And then rolling all the way up. Relaxing the shoulders into the body. Breathing in. Now from here, come back into your Pilates stance. So lifting the heels, squeezing and engaging without being too, without allowing any tension to creep into the body. So notice if you're gripping, but see if you can turn up like a dimmer switch, that inner thigh, pelvic floor, lower belly, but relax the shoulders, squeeze the glutes, but without introducing any tension anywhere. Now from here, you're going to take a breath in. And as you breathe out, I want you to send the leg in the same direction as the leg is, so that same angle, we're lifting it out to the side and then bringing it straight back in. And again, sending the other leg out to the side and then bringing it straight back in. So we're just taking away that limb and balancing on one leg and then bring it back. So it's a soft point of the foot on the way out, and then a flex of the foot on the way down. Let's do two more either side. Point and lengthen, and flex and reach down. Last one. Let's say two more either side. Let's do one more either side now. Lengthen. Notice if one side feels easier, more balanced, more controlled. Release all the way down. Let's do a little plie here for good measure. And then I want you to lift the heels back into a little bend, staying in your bend plie. We're going to float the arms up in breath. Now remember, we rolled down. This time I want you to roll down as we did before, but we're going to come down all the way and then back up. Breathe in, breathe out, come down. So a little bit more dynamic, unless it feels difficult for your spine, in which case roll yourself down with control. Use the hands, otherwise it's lovely to breathe in to come up. Breathe out. Two more, lift. And last one. And then coming up. Let's just say, shake the shoulders, roll the shoulders. Maybe do some little swimming. See, that's the movement for me I need to work on without hurting my shoulder. This is a really good one to do at your desk, by the way. Swimming forwards and then do a little swimming backwards to activate the back of the shoulder area. And then from here, coming to the end of your mat, we're going to roll ourselves down and come into full-point kneeling. So take a lovely deep breath in. And as you breathe out, let's roll down. Head, neck, rib cage, softly lifting through the belly. You can either keep the legs quite straight or bend them all the way as much as you feel comfortable, and you're going to walk yourselves out. You can lower your knees whenever you feel you need to. It's quite nice to come into a little plank if you like that, if your wrists and shoulders like that. Into 4-point kneeling. And then for a moment, just take the toes together, knees apart, and release yourself down into a little rest position while I adjust the camera vision on my computer. There we go. So breathing in this position. I want you really to notice how your body's feeling today in this. So maybe if the shoulders feel like they want a little bit more softness, maybe wrap the arms around your body. But if it's quite nice to stretch more, have them out in front of you. See where the stretch takes you. So whether it's through the waist or more in the center of the shoulders. Breathe into any areas of tightness that you find. And then when you're ready, rolling back up, bone by bone. And we're going to come into 4-point kneeling. And if you have your ball, take it to the right side of your mat, or just to the right and underneath the right hand. And I want you to just take a moment to kind of settle the shoulder blades on the body, notice the spine, maybe just roll the back from the bum rather from side to side, do a little pelvic curls with the tailbone, changing direction, noticing the shoulders, how they feel today. So maybe draw the shoulder blades together and then push them away. So just sort of in this 4-point kneeling position, experiment with how your body is feeling and what you intuitively would like to move. Feel that sense of breathing deeply into the lower belly and then breathing out, draw the belly up and in. If you feel it's a little bit difficult on the wrists, rest them back whenever you need to. So we're going to take a breath in now, setting and softening the shoulders on the back, checking in with your lower belly and back. Make sure that you're not sinking in the lower back, but you're also not tucking the tailbone underneath you. So you want to let the lumbar spine release into its natural curve. On your in-breath, take your left hand and just softly place the back of the hand onto the ball. Taking your breath in to prepare, lengthen the spine. As you breathe out, you're going to just send the spine to the right as you reach the arm over and into the ball. Notice where your bum is going. Is it kind of reaching to one side? See if you can keep it to the center of your mat. And then as you breathe out, coming back through center, and then just lengthen that arm. Now this is tricky for my shoulder, so I'm not going to go all the way, but see if you can open your arm all the way up towards the ceiling, breathing in, breathing out, coming back through. Twist. Breathing in here into that stretch, keeping both feet grounded if you can. Notice if one of them wants to hike up, coming back through, and do as I say, not as I do, opening the arm up towards the ceiling. So really seeing if you can get that sense of opening the shoulder blades, opening the collarbones evenly up towards the ceiling. Coming back through, we're going to do one more after this. Twist, breathe in, breathing out, coming back, pressing this right arm into the mat to open up through the left. And last one. Twist. And bring it back. And lift. It's really interesting. I cannot go very far on that side. And then come back through center. Let's just rest all the way back down. You might want to rest your head on your ball for a moment. Take a lovely deep breath in and out. Maybe circling that right wrist if you need to. You might have been doing that naturally anyway. And then let's just come back up, placing the ball next to and slightly behind, lower than the left hand. Take a breath in and release the right hand onto the back of the ball. Notice if on this side it feels different. So often we favour one side more than the other. So you might feel on this side your bum starts to wing more, or your foot starts to lift up. Just notice any changes that you find from the other side. Breathing in, as you breathe out, let's twist. bending that supporting arm to really facilitate that twist, and then come back in. And we're going to open, lifting up towards the ceiling and come. So make sure that twist comes from the rib cage and not from straining the shoulder. So it has to only go as far as you feel comfortable. And back through center. And let's twist. Notice if the feet start to come up. Let's come back through and twist. Breathing in here. Breathing out. Lift. And last one. Twist. And coming back through center and gliding this arm, opening through the chest. And then coming back down. Back into a little rest position for a moment, breathing deeply, softening the way you need to soften the head, the neck, the shoulders, the wrists. And then we're going to come up onto your bum. Take the ball in front of you. Cross the legs the way that you don't normally cross them as ever, but if you need to, we will recross them the other way. And if, like me, you might have a way that your knee joint prefers, choose that. So just do whatever your body feels more comfortable with. Let's just press the hands onto the ball. So before we had that sense of the feet on the ground, imagining the arch of your foot kind of softly drawing up. We're going to do that with the foot in a moment on the ball. But just for now, with the hands on the ball, I want you to sense the same. So just allow the hands to really drape over the ball. And then have a sense of lengthening them so you're pressing evenly and flatly. So we're not draping like a little budgie on a perch. We're instead trying to find a sense of flattening. And see how that connects a little bit more into the shoulder joints. Imagine a sense of softening the shoulder joints in order to lengthen out that energy through your palms. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, let's just release the ball forward. Allow the nose to softly release forward towards the ground, maybe in towards your pubic bone. Breathing in, breathing out, roll it back up and lift. And again, on your next out breath, roll it forward. Breathe in, breathe out, roll it up. Let's do two more, and you can do it as swiftly as you want. So you can roll and then come straight back up, or you can take a deep breath in between. So whichever feels better for your spine and what you prefer to do at the moment. And then we're going to change the cross of your legs. Again, if that doesn't work for your knee joint, they can stay where they are. We're going to do the diagonal one. So just reaching up and over to the side. Breathe in, wherever you're feeling that most. So often around the side and into the hip. And breathing out, bring it back. And let's go the other way, reaching all the way over. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more either side. So we're doing lots of rib cage opening, working with the breath to massage your internal organs, give you a lot more space to breathe. Back through center and lift. Lovely. Now from here, I want you to, you may not need to adjust yourself on your mat, I do, but coming down, so you've got enough room to roll yourself down. And I want you to take your ball out in front of you, release the shoulders into the back of the body. And we want to, again, rather than folding the hands around the ball, like holding it like a ball, I want you instead to have that flatness. See if you can find that sense of energy, almost like you're trying to make it more of a hamburger shape than a ball. Softly lengthening, and see if that helps you to feed your energy in through the center, connecting into your body rather than just finding it in the wrists and the hand joints. Sorry, I was cycling today and I think there's lots of pollen in the air and I got some in my throat and now it's coming back to haunt me. Excuse me. So, lengthening the arms out in front of you. See if you can adjust your bum flesh, sit on your sit bones as much as possible, and really feel that energy into the shoulder joints. So relax the shoulders into the body. Feel that sense like you did with your Pilates stance, zipping up, drawing up through your center, connecting into your lower belly, planting the feet down. So lots to think about here, trying to kind of activate the whole of the body together as one unit. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, you're going to tuck your tailbone underneath you and just begin to roll down, but we're only going to roll back a little bit. So just to here, relax the shoulders, keep the belly scooped. So only going as far as you can feel that lower belly working, but you're not straining into your neck or lower back. From here, you're going to raise the arms slightly, keeping that soft pressure on the ball. Keep your eye focus down and forward and lifting the arms. And then release the arms forward. You're going to stay in your curl and do that 3 more times. So lift and lower. Deepen the belly, lift and lower. 2 more, lift and lower. If you feel that tremor of truth, it's the muscles working. Lift and lower, and then roll forward, back on your sit bones. Relax the shoulders. You can rest them down for a moment if you need to. Relax, make sure your neck isn't holding on to any tension. Breathe in. Let's come back here. As you breathe out, we're going to tuck the tailbone underneath you, come back to that curled position, crown of the head lengthening and reaching, so we're not slumping down. We want to really feel that energy through the center of your body. Now from here, instead of lifting up, we're going to just twist. So we're twisting to the left and then come back through center. Soft energy on the ball. Let's twist to the right. Keep the feet planted. Back through center. 2 more either side. And back. And twist, and back. Last one either side. Keep the belly working. Notice if your hip flexors have started to kick in. See if your lower belly can take some of the pressure off your hip flexors. And back. And then rather than rolling forward, we're going to roll all the way down now. So gently with control, and the arms come up as the feet come closer towards your bum. Let's take a breath in, send the arms back behind you. And breathe out, lengthen the arms up. And again, breathing in. So this time we're breathing in. Normally we breathe out to come back because we're softening the ribs. I want you to see if you can breathe in, but without letting the ribs ping all the way to the ceiling. So breathing in, allow them to expand, but not completely let go. And breathe out, soften them down, connecting your belly a little bit more. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in. And last one. Let's add a little curl up to this one, not breathing out as you curl up. And breathing in, come back down. Let's do 2 more like that. Breathing in to come back. Breathing out, curling up. Deepen the belly, looking towards your pubic bone. Last one. All the way down without rib cage flaring, so keeping that softness of the ribs. And curling up. And then coming back down. We're going to place the ball onto the floor. And I want you to take your feet onto the floor. So this time, the feet are probably connected. I don't mind if you're not squeezing the knees together though. So I want you to feel like the inner thighs may connect towards each other, but we're not gripping. I want you to feel like you can let the muscles of the back of your legs try and soften as much as possible, because otherwise they become quite grippy. Let's feel that sense of the Bajranga perching. So letting the arch of your foot drape over the ball. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, we're coming into a pelvic tilt. So just tuck the tailbone underneath you. We're not lifting the hips yet. And then lengthen away. And again, tuck the tail underneath you, flattening and connecting the lumbar spine into the floor. And then release. Now, keeping the bum where it is, the spine where it is, float the left knee in towards you. Notice if your spine comes into that tilt. If it does, see if you can keep it in neutral. And the other side, float. and release. So let's do a tilt now. And lower. And then a knee fold. And lower. So it's a tilt alternated by right and then left. So tilting the spine. Release. And then left. Lower. Right. Lower. Good. Now from here, just relax those feet. We've warmed up the muscles a little bit. We're going to challenge them slightly more now. And even more if you want to take your arms up towards the ceiling. If you need to, keep them down. But this is just a little bit of added challenge for your muscles. Relax the shoulders. Let's really find that deep inner thigh, pelvic floor, lower belly connection. Breathing in. Your bottom wants to work here rather than your hamstrings working too hard. So on your out breath, you're going to tuck the tailbone underneath you and peel your spine off the mat, bone by bone. Breathing in, breathing out, roll it down. My ball is making a funny noise on the mat, if you can hear that. And again, tuck the tailbone underneath you and roll it up. And lower it down. Let's do 2 more on your out breath. Tuck the tailbone underneath you. If you have noticed, I've got 2 pillows, but that's just because my shoulder needs a little bit more support at the moment. You might not want any pillows underneath your head. Last one. And lower. And release the arms all the way down. Well done, guys. Let's take the feet either side of your ball. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, I want you to deepen the lower belly. You're going to float both knees in towards you, holding the ball in between your feet. Breathing in. As you breathe out, you're going to send the legs away, holding the ball between the feet, and then bend the knees back in. Now from here, we're going to tap the toes down, double toe tap, deep tummy. We're going to release the feet down, then lift it up, then lengthen up to the ceiling, and bend, tap down, lift up and lengthen. You've got 4 more. Bend, tap down, lift up and reach. 3 more. Bend, deep belly as you tap, strong belly as you lift, lengthen hamstrings at the top. Last 2 and tap, bring it in and lengthen. Last 1, tap, bring it in and lengthen. Let's stay there for a moment. Keep the ball connected in between your knees. Now either you can have it, we're going to lower the legs ever so slightly. If you want a little bit more abdominal work, take the hands behind the head, interlace the fingers, elbows softly in your peripheral vision. You're going to take a breath in. And as you breathe out, curl up. You don't have to curl up. So from here, let's, on your in breath, send the legs away. And as you breathe out, bring them back. Stay curled. We're going to do 4 more. And bring it back. 3 more. Bring it back. So we're trying to keep the lower pelvis and the lower back rather really nice and still. So if you need to, imprint it on the floor, and otherwise deepen the belly. Make sure you're still in your natural curve. Last one. Release the head and shoulders down. Bend the knees. Release the legs down. Let's come into a lovely full body stretch here. Really allow the tummy to relax. Breathe. And then bringing the knees in towards you. Just roll the spine from side to side. Now let's from here take hold of your band. You don't need to use the band if you don't want to. We're going to release the right foot to the ground. Take the left foot in the band. So you can do this without the band. Don't worry if you haven't got one to hand. We're just coming into a little hamstring stretch. So really trying to lengthen out the back behind the back of the thigh. This right leg can either stay foot planted down, or you can lengthen it if you want a little bit more into the hip flexor stretch on that side. So it's kind of a double stretch in that case. Relaxing the shoulders, breathe. Just allow that stretch to gently happen. So try not to resist it. See if you can soften into it a little bit, flexing that heel, drawing the toes towards you. Maybe a little pump of the ankle joint. Maybe a circle. And then when you're ready, just gently opening that left leg out to the side, keeping the right leg heavy. So if you want to come back to that grounded right foot, then do. We're just allowing the inner thigh a little bit of a stretch here as well. And then bring it back through center. Let's come gently over to the other side without lifting the bum. So just come into a really deep hamstring, maybe a little bit ITB stretch, depending on how tight you're feeling. If you want to, you can allow the bum to roll as well. And brings it into a stretch into the lower back. And then come back through center. Taking it to the other side, so float the other foot in. Either grounding the left foot as you lengthen the hamstring on the right, or lengthen that left leg away. So whichever feels better for you. Notice how your leg's feeling, if it feels the same as the other side. More tight, less tight. Pumping gently through the ankle joint. Get the blood circulating in the body in a different way, particularly if you've been sitting at your desk or standing upright today. Circle the ankle. And then when you're ready, just opening that leg out to the side. Doesn't have to go far. Keep the left hip, left leg planted. Notice at what point your leg wants to hoik up. See if you can push to that point and see the gate, but don't open it. And then coming back through center. And then just gently coming across. Notice if one side is tighter than the other. Breathe, shoulders heavy. Rib cage nice and heavy, breathing deeply. Maybe coming into that twist, keeping the right shoulder open and arm out onto the floor. You don't have to come down if it doesn't feel right for you. And back through center. Bend the knee in, take the band away. Just come back into your knees to chest, maybe happy baby, depending on how your body feels. Breathing in this position. And then when you're ready, releasing your feet down, coming into your relaxation position of your choice. So either with bolster, pillows, blankets, whatever you need to do, making yourself super, super comfortable. And I want you to come into, when you're ready, that really lovely, soft rhythm of your breath. Allow your heart rate to soften and slow. Maybe take a hand on the heart, a hand on the lower belly. Congratulate yourself for coming to class tonight. Honouring your body and your breath. See if you can lengthen your exhalation just by 1 or 2 counts. See if you can breathe into any area